Hey guys, what's going on? Paul here. Welcome back to another Cardano video. Today I'm joined by Steven from VyFinance again. So I had Steven on the channel a while ago, and I'll put the links to that below for anyone who hasn't seen it or heard of VyFi. Steven, thanks very much for coming back on. Great to see you on, get some updates.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. Significantly hairier now than I was in the last interview. I've been traveling for the last month and a half. It's been fun.
Busy time.
Yeah, very busy time. Been meeting a lot of people in the crypto world. It's been absolutely fantastic. Yeah, look, since we last spoke, you're about to, or you have just given away our NFT, which is fantastic. I'd like to thank you for doing that, Paul.
Yeah, no worries. It's a great prize for the community to get.
Yeah, it's still holding strong, our NFTs. They're still 600 ARDO each, and I mean, you're still farming yours. So, you know, our entire system there has been streamlined now, so that it's you literally just have to press a button, and the transaction is built for you in the Nami wallet. That's a nice little thing that we've done. So there's no more requirement for you to either send in the NFT or physically send in a dust transaction. That's all just been automated now.
Nice.
Now look, we've got a lot of news actually. I think our biggest news would be that in the next sort of 2 to 3 weeks, let's say by the second week of January, we want to have launched with our pools, and we think we're pretty much ready to do that. So that's our VyFi staking pools.
So just for anyone, this isn't liquidity pools or what you would get on a DEX normally. This is something different.
Yes, this is something a little bit different. This is more how you would imagine syrup pools on PancakeSwap. So this is where you deposit VyFi, and in return for depositing VyFi, you earn another token or VyFi or ADA or whatever it is that's being offered in the pools.
Okay.
If you want a hint as to who we're going to be offering in our pools, we've already got an example of our pools page up on our website. I'm sure Paul will be able to show that.
Yeah, actually, I can throw that up there. This is your pools page, isn't it?
This is our pools page. We've also got a few more to add in there. But this is an example of who that's going to be. And essentially, this pool page is going to be turning on in the next sort of 2 to 3 weeks. So you'll be able to, let's say 3 weeks. Sorry, second week of January is when we're aiming for. I don't want to give an exact date yet because we're still doing testing, and we're still not 100% certain when the exact date will be.
Okay.
But yeah, it's definitely going to be in the next few weeks.
This one here looks nice as well. Earn ADA from staking my VyFi.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. So there is going to be a pool that'll allow you to earn ADA for staking VyFi.
Okay.
And that's going to be, I imagine that's going to be one of the more popular pools.
I'd say so, yeah. I'd say there will be a nice rush into that. And depending on what some of the other assets are, I'll definitely cover them in a video, either with you or I'll cover it in one of my normal ones when it does go live.
Thank you.
Just actually for anyone who didn't see the NFTs, just when I have the screen up here, this is the NFT staking, and you can actually see that I have my original NFT one in here, and you can see so far I've earned 63 VyFi. So what that's, I'm 90 days, I have 37 days left to go. So nice bonus for anyone who got into the sale originally. For anyone who didn't hear, we got these for free, and this is the one that Steven, or another one Steven gave me to give away in the last video.
And that one's going to allow your user base to come and farm some VyFi, or we even offer other tokens as well. If you scroll down a little on the NFT vault, we also use Cardax and Flick. Nice. So there's a few tokens that you can farm, you can stake and earn with our NFT.
And will the NFT staking continue once you have your pools and stuff like that? Have the NFTs been expanded, or what's happening there?
We've got I don't want to be giving anything away. We've got a lot of plans with our NFTs. We're going to be working with a few people. So one of the big things we're looking at in building the utility within our NFT is to use our NFT as kind of a gateway to allow you access to multiple things across our platform, right? But not necessarily a gateway as in it's a bridge that has to be crossed, i.e. you have to have an NFT to be allowed to cross that bridge, right? That we don't believe in doing that. But it's just going to be able to give you some kind of access which will add a certain layer of utility to the entire platform as a whole. So for example, when there's pools, right? The pools that we're releasing, the staking pools, you'll still be able to earn VyFi with the NFT. You'll be able to earn VyFi with VyFi, right? We're not going to stop people from earning VyFi in pools because you don't hold an NFT, but that NFT will give you that adjunct function, right? Now, when we're looking, one of the big areas that I'm interested in expanding is looking at launching projects using that NFT, right? So
Okay.
that's already something that we've done a little bit with Flick, right? Flick are a pre-ICO project that are actually launching. I believe they're launching on a launch pad, but don't hold me to that.
Yeah. I think they're
And
doing an ISPO as well at the minute.
yeah, an ISPO at
I'm
the
thinking
moment.
of the
Yeah,
same one, yeah.
yep. And that's and giving access to that project, giving that project the ability to access our community and access our network through that, because I also know quite a few influencers that follow us that saw us release a Flick Vault and suddenly went, oh, wow, who are these guys that you're suddenly releasing and you're talking to? And then all of a sudden, there were other influencers that looked into them that I know as a fact as a result of having released that vault. So we want to kind of expand our NFT utility in that direction, and look at onboarding new and unreleased projects and offering that to our community through the NFT. I think is the most immediate avenue that we're looking into.
Okay, yeah, that's a nice perk for holding the NFTs as well.
Mm-hmm. So, and essentially, we've got a launch pad, the initial farm offering on our site. That would act as sort of an adjunct service to our initial farm offering, right? So you can farm our initial farm offering with VyFi, but you would also be able to access it through the NFTs. You don't necessarily have to hold VyFi to access the initial farm offerings.
Okay, so you're telling me don't sell it for a while anyway.
Well, I'm not.
You can't give me that advice. Okay, yeah, I kind of sidetracked you there with the NFTs, but back on the pools, we're looking at, do you say second week in January, something around that?
Yeah, something around there, second week in January, hopefully a bit earlier. Yeah, so we're hoping that it'll be ready by next week. Sort of ready to really start running through its paces. And then ideally, look, the week after it'll be done going through its paces, but I want to say second week of January to be safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better to stay a bit longer, and if you come in quicker, great. If you don't, hit the original time then.
That's it.
Okay. What about the rest of VyFi? How are things looking there at the minute?
Absolutely fantastic. We are all steam ahead. So now that we're about to start launching those pools, as far as I'm aware, we're going to be the first multi-currency staking pool on Cardano. I could be incorrect in that. I've done a bit of a look. I've found a lot of tokens that offer you to stake a token for their own token. I just haven't seen many that offer you multiple other tokens of existing projects, or any as of yet. Do you know any, Paul?
Haven't come across them yet anyway, or if I have, I just can't think of them off the top of my head at the minute.
So I think if we can actually position ourselves to be the first multi-currency staking option on Cardano, and we're able to position ourselves in such a way that our user base and people that are interested in getting involved in Cardano native tokens are able to access our token, whether that be through a centralized exchange, whether that be through Muesli Swap as a DEX. There's multiple avenues that you can access, that you'll be able to access our token. And as such, I'm hoping that that'll really give a push to the user base that's interested in getting involved in those CNTs and in this scene.
Okay. And your own DEX, that's still working away behind this. For anyone who hasn't seen before, you guys are building a DEX yourselves, and will have the usual functions of a DEX.
Absolutely. So, and it'll have the usual functions plus a bar, which is a distributive mechanism to share profits of the actual fees that are earned across the DEX.
Okay.
Now, the DEX itself is coming along nicely. Our audit, when is our audit? We're auditing with Twig, and I believe we should be beginning our audit sort of third week of January, is sort of when we're slated to be audited at the moment. And we're pretty much ready to go. We're testing. We've got our own private test net. We haven't released it publicly yet because we've got a few more bits and bobs attached to our DEX than other projects. Most other projects don't have a distributive mechanism built into their DEX, for example. Most projects don't have to build secondary container pools to ensure that you can manage distribution of said fees across multiple users on the platform. There's a few different things that we've had to design to actually build our DEX. And as a result, whilst it's all built, we still want a few more weeks before we release it publicly on testnet.
Okay. So kind of end of January, the audit starts, and then it's going to depend on how long the audit goes before we hopefully see it. Well, I know Cardano.
We're currently working with overseers and internal auditors. We're kind of hoping that they say that we're good enough that we're solid enough to be able to release it on the testnet and do a precursory version. That's, for example, why we're releasing pools, right? Where pools are significantly less complex contracts. You're not interacting with them in the sense that you're drawing funds out of one side and depositing them in the other, right? It's literally just a container that also on the other side ticks out other tokens. So all you need to be able to do is deposit and withdraw from that container. So that's why we're able with our internal auditors to release things such as these pools, and with our overseers. But yeah, it's a bit difficult to say as to how confident you would be doing a large scale DEX without a formal audit, particularly in a space as dangerous as this one.
Okay, yeah, definitely. And with things being new as well on Cardano, we have to make sure everything lines up. And I suppose it's not, you guys are still waiting on the PAB like many
Everyone
others
else
out there as well. So that will be a factor in it too.
Exactly. And as what it's looking as if the PAB is, late January to early February is what I'm hearing at the moment. And it's really interesting because there's still a lot of things we can do without the PAB, right? Such as these pools that we're doing, such as the NFT staking. There's still a lot that can be done. But for the really complex operations like a DEX, that one we want to wait till we have the formal PAB on the main net before we really start testing out those more complex functions in a live format.
Okay.
Yeah, if that makes sense.
Well, that's good. And then I think at the minute, tentatively, the next hard fork is scheduled for February as well with Babbage, which I don't know how it helps you. I know there's lots of improvements with smart contracts and that. I'm not deep enough into that to understand, but we're moving in the right direction, I think.
That's moving in the right direction. That's one of the hard forks that we really desperately need at the moment, right? And it really just turns on a lot of the functionalities that people thought had already been turned on.
Yeah, I think there was communication around that could have been better back in September of what exactly we had and what we're going to have or that type of thing. But
but it's all still coming. It's the reality with good technology. And I guess this is one of the things that I actually like about Cardano is that we do it right instead of just pushing things through. And you can definitely see that when you're looking at chains like Solana, who have had the exact opposite issue over the last few months. Now, their price has recovered fairly well now that they've solved the issue for the most part. But to have to shut down an entire blockchain and say to everyone, sorry, you could have all lost all your money, is really embarrassing and is not something that you almost have to face. Ethereum,
it's scary for users as well at times.
It's very scary for users, right? So I think the best way to do it is the right way, essentially, which is to make sure that everything works. And that is the same approach that we're taking to building VyFi, right? You follow the lead of what you're given, and that's the lead that we're given on this blockchain. And that's why I think most projects are doing that. Yeah,
I think it's frustrating at times for, I'd say, developers, for us as the community as well, where we'd all like things moving quicker. It's long term, I think Cardano is going to be very, very solid. When I see what they're looking to do with Hydra and what I'm hearing, Hydra could be coming quicker than I had personally thought myself. I thought we were looking a lot later in 2022.
Yeah,
it sounds like nothing official, so I don't want to be the one to say, oh yeah, it's coming here or there, but just whispers that it could be better time frame than we were expecting.
Yes, and which is really important because Hydra is such a fundamentally crucial one to ensuring that, DEXs and DeFi in the way that we imagine is going to function effectively, right? I would say Hydra is likely more important than the PAB. We can still, at the moment, we can string stuff together, right? Just like we can do pools. There's things that you can put together at the moment that just require some creative thinking. Without Hydra, it's very difficult to run large-scale operations, but not on an individual basis. It becomes difficult to multiple large-scale operations across the blockchain simultaneously.
Yeah, that's the key, I think, is that if we only had one big DEX coming and that was it, that was all that was going to go on chain, what we have now would probably be okay, maybe increase the block size a little bit more. But then when you start looking at I think up to 200 DApps at the minute that are known, that are trying to launch, even if we had a PAB and they were ready to go tomorrow, we would severely struggle. It wouldn't be a great user experience. So there's lots of little bits that all need to come together there.
That's exactly it. That's exactly what you're describing. And they will come together, as this has been one of the earliest plans of Cardano. They've had the idea of doing Hydra since they launched Cardano. So this is something that was always in the works.
Yeah.
Um,
So back
now,
to yourselves. I'm sidetracking off to Cardano. Anything else?
I
Any
love
other
talking
updates or?
about Cardano. You may have noticed. Yeah, so we're also launching. We're hoping to launch on a centralized exchange by the end of the year. I haven't announced that formally. I've got a lot of things to say to you today.
Nice.
We're not allowed to name the centralized exchange as of yet, but yeah, we're looking for that launch to be by the end of this year. We need to perform a token swap with our users prior to that centralized exchange launch. And that token swap is going to be as simple as just logging into our DApp and then connecting your wallet, Nami. It identifies that you hold VyFi, and then it requests you to swap that. It should only cost you a transaction fee. And then you send in your old
comes out, I'll do a demo on it anyway. When I'm swapping my own tokens, I can do that.
That would be amazing if you could. Thank you so much. Yeah, any extra bit would be really helpful. We're also going to have a complete guide on it on our Gitbooks as well, as we've had for all of our functions. And then pretty soon thereafter, we're looking to launch with the centralized exchange and pools. So it's going to be a really busy Christmas for us. We're not really resting. We're not really taking some time off. I'm taking Christmas Day off with my family. That's the one day I'm taking.
That's important to get some time.
Yeah, you have to see your family at some point. I mean, joke. You should see them more often than some point, of course. And after that, we are very soon after Christmas, we want that centralized exchange launch, pools very soon thereafter. Sort of all of this, we want to be timing it in a way that we're able to maximize our return for our investors, the way in which we sort of time this out. So I don't want to be breaking any surprises too heavily. I want to tell you what we're doing, but I'm not going to tell you exactly how we're going to do it.
Okay, so stay tuned. I'll put the social links below anyway for people to follow along.
Stay tuned, and definitely there's a lot coming.
Great, sounds good. Anything else that you want to put in? I find generally when we keep these concise, people get the information they want, and they're more likely to watch throughout it.
The only thing that I would like to say is that check out our website, check out our white paper, come and have a chat to us on Telegram or on Discord. We're a pretty friendly bunch. We've got a very active community and a very, I would say, what's the word? A very passionate community. You know, I
found that actually after the first video that I put out with you guys, there was a really passionate, a really strong community there. I was in the group before, but I hadn't fully seen that before until I put out the video and seen the feedback and comments that came in on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Our community is super, super positive. And I think it's because if you watch our last video, you'll see that we're doing something a little bit different to what's been done before in DeFi. And in doing that, a lot of people have seen the vision that we're going for. So we're hoping that when we can get this vision complete, we'll be able to be one of the easiest, if not the easiest, on-ramp into DeFi for people to use.
Yeah, that sounds great. Did you say there was another giveaway as well?
Yes,
I think we covered that, did we?
How did I forget that? I'm also wanted to give away with Paul 500 VyFi to one of the viewers of this video. Or one of the viewers of Paul's channel, I should say, not just this video specifically. The only thing, it's going to be similar to the competition that Paul's already run with the NFT. And of course, just follow us on our socials, as you need to be a follower to, hopefully you'll need to be a follower. Yeah, you'll need to be a follower to win.
Yeah, perfect. Leave the comment below and then follow the VyFi socials, and I'll let it run for a week or so with Christmas. I won't put an exact date on when I'll pull the winner, but I will do it on a video as well. So transparency and all that kind of stuff. And I can send off, or you can send directly to the winner then at that stage.
Absolutely. They just need to send you a Nami address or your Roy address, and then they'll get it.
That's great.
And that's, we're also running, I should also add, we're running a little competition alongside Charlie 3. Charlie 3 has got a 12 Days of Christmas competition. We're also one of the sponsors for that competition, and there's also 500 VyFi up for grabs in that competition as well. And we're also going to be hosting our own merch competition over Christmas, where we're offering 10 shirts, I believe, and that'll be starting on the day of Christmas, or it might be the day after Christmas. It might be like a Boxing Day thing. So yeah, we're going to be offering 10 shirts. So stay tuned on our social media. There's a lot of competitions that we're involved in coming up, and you don't want to miss them.
Nice. Yeah, I could go for a VyFi shirt. I'll check that out.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks very much for your time. Great to catch up, get the updates on it. Anyone who's new, make sure you do subscribe. This is generally what we do, all about Cardano, the projects that are building, what's going on with the latest. Share the video out. If you think others would like the updates, give it a like and comment below to enter that competition as well. Just put VyFi in the comment and we'll pull the winner in a week or two. Thanks very much, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great day.